Hi guys, this is Dorothy here at Done by Dorothy, and I'm here today to share with you a very special flip through of this journal that I made. And I absolutely love this journal. I have fell in love with it. I was on Etsy, as many of us do, as we're meandering around Etsy and looking at digital kits and things like that. And I came across this digital kit and I fell in love with it. So I had to do a journal with it. And this will not be my last journal using this digital kit. I am in love with it. And when you see the images, you will completely understand. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. I love this kit. So without further ado, we'll get to it. This is my journal. So this is the front. And let me grab my ruler. It is 6 inches by, I believe, 9. Nope, 6 by 8. The cover is 6 by 8. The pages are 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. It has a roughly 2 1/4 inch spine. It's got metal corners on all 4 corners. It has this organza ribbon closure because I did not want to cover up the images. It also has this vintage trim layered up over here onto the back. It is a hardcover. It is fabric covered, and then it was fabric covered, dyed, and then gessoed. And then on here, it's got the image added to the front of it. So let me open it up. And this beautiful, gorgeous lady on the front is Mary Elizabeth. And this is the butterfly lady, is who this is. She loves butterflies and flowers. And so let me hold it up if you can see this image. Is amazing. And I fussy cut it out of one of the pages. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it has a little shaggy at the top and bottom. It's got some floppy tabs. It's got lace and tabs galore on the side. And again, oh, this is tucked up in here. Okay. All the little at the bottom. I absolutely love it. So let's open it up and get started. I love this kit, you guys. I'm telling you. So it's got some of the vintage trim. It's got some doily back here, some scrapbook paper underneath, just to cause for support for the pocket. A vintage doily, little rose in the middle, and it's a pocket. Look at this, guys. I mean, this is what that page looks like that I fussy cut out of. Is that not the most gorgeous page? And there's a little tag, and it is backed. And there's a little key tag. And then a journaling card. And again, this was part of the kit. I absolutely love it. Again, it's LenArte Studio. You guys, go check out her stuff. It's awesome. And I'm not, that's just me, straight up. I did use some of fabric on the inside. This is what the original, I don't know if you can see that with the dark roses. This is what this originally was. Before I aged it up with, I dyed it, aged it up with ink, and then gessoed it around to sort of make it go into the background. But that's what it originally looked like. So it does have a fabric spine. There are 3 signatures. It is quite a big boy, but it does not, it only alligator mouths a little, and I mean, once you tie it, it doesn't alligator mouth at all. So there's one of the digitals. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I made used some lace and a small tuck here. And this is a French page from 1921. And again, there it is. This just has this little tag. This is and this little tag came in the kit. This little vintage French ephemera here came from Artie Maze's new kit that she has. And again, a little fabric tab. And some dyed paper. Again, this is part of her kit, and it was actually 2 kits, and I'll list both of those in the description box below. This is another one of those pages. This is a vintage sheet music. This is the actual natural coloring. I did not dye this or anything. This is what it looked like. Again, it's got a little label and a little fabric tag. And again, there's that fabric, what it looked like before. And I did reinforce it to give it more support. And a coffee dyed page. There's another one of the digital kits. I love these pages. This is actually a page from a book from 1931, and it was Sunday school chalk talks. They were basically images you could draw on the board to use for Sunday school to do little stories for kids. And I loved that little girl. I thought it was so pretty. So a little tab, and again, there's Mary Elizabeth, a little lace. I absolutely love that picture, guys. Masson Harmond Raymond Barbet. Again, this is one of the French ephemera things from Artie Maze's kit, that as well. Some vintage lace. This come in the kit. This is part of the kit. Here's some of that fabric. This is just some coffee dyed paper, and I used some Tim Holtz distress spray to just add a little pop of color. There's another one of those gorgeous pages. I love this. So pretty. Here's a little newsprint bag. I just cut the end of it off. Again, an image that was in the kit, a little vintage doily. Another one of those French ephemera pieces. Oh, and there's a little tag in there too. And one of the little journaling cards that was in the kit. A little tab. Lots of fabric and lace in here. Another one of the digital images. Again, coffee dyed page, some vintage lace on it. This is a coffee dyed coffee filter with some stenciling on it, or well, not stenciling, but it's was dyed. I've got this paper clip here holding this shut. If you pull this shut, here's some lace, a little tag. This does open up for a hidden journaling spot, and I've just got that little clip at the bottom just to sort of hold it closed. And then it's got large journaling card in it. I wanted to have plenty of room to write in here because there was so many digitals. Some of them there's a lot of room to write on, but some of them not so much. Love this page with the polka dots. Some more of that French ephemera and some ribbon. French ephemera. I'll put a lot of the French ephemera in here because I just love the way it went with this kit perfectly. Tag, some cotton. Again, some Tim Holtz distress spray. And I think this is worn lipstick is what it was. One of the images. This is a page out of a 1908 fifth reader school book. And I left it as is. Another thing of lace, little circle. Some more of that French ephemera. Then this was actually, okay, the cover was actually made from a curtain, and this is the, the top scrap that you put your rod through. I didn't want to waste it, so I put it in here and created a pocket with it. And again, there's another piece of that French ephemera, and it's all cream colored and dyed on the back. And then a full piece, so you have plenty of journaling space in the back. And I did not put charms on here or hanging off because I really liked focusing on the fabric part of it. And this right here is actually where I cut it off, but I could have glued it closed, but I sort of liked the fact that if you pulled these two pieces of fabric apart, you could see in here where these curtains were homemade, and I love that fact about it. So I left it open so you can see it too. Again, another coffee dyed page. Here's that fifth reader page again from 1908. Another image. Okay, this has a tuck on the front of it, and it's just some of the paper. Again, the French ephemera with a little tag and a little bookmark from the kit. It goes in there, and again, lots of writing room. Open it up, you have lots of journaling space. Journaling on the back. French ephemera. Here is another vintage doily that I dyed. Little tag and a page. So there's lots of doilies and all of that in here. Copy die page, another digital, another coffee filter. I loved that this matched. I liked how that worked. And it's got the little mini doily piece at the top is just sort of a little fabric tab. Coffee dyed page, another digital. These digitals are amazing, guys. I'm telling you, aren't they gorgeous? I mean, if you like Shabby Chic and pink, this is it. Another tab. Here is just a piece of scrap from the kids. One of the little tags, a little piece of cotton and a little lace. A newsprint bag, one of the circles on it, and again, some of that French ephemera put in there. Another digital. Sorry, with my voice has been ever since we were sick back in the spring. My voice comes and goes, so I have to get a drink sometimes. Another one of the digitals. Here's one of the bookmarks, but I actually put it on the page because this pulls open to give you lots of journaling space. And then you also have the back. So that's a great spot for, you know, one of those stories or where you need a lot of room. Here again is the back of one of the French ephemera. Again, a piece of paper, a bird, a scrap of lace. And here is the other side of that Chalk Talk book where it shows you like different steps to draw the little girl. One of the digitals. Piece of pink coffee dyed paper. There's that music sheet and a digital. I made a little lace pocket with a little French ephemera tag and a little journaling card. So lots of little odds and ends in this. There is that French page. I didn't want to do anything with that. Another digital, and that's the end of the first signature. So this is the second signature. I mean, look at these. I mean, images are just gorgeous. Okay, here's a piece of that fifth reader. And here is, it's just, I have paper clipped in, a piece of French ephemera, and it's got the little butterfly on it. And it's just folded over the page. Again, I love these. And then you've got writing room still on the digital. Gorgeous. A pink page. Here is a piece of that French ephemera with just one of the little circles, but I thought this one actually looked like a seal, so I thought it would look really cool on the French page. Another digital. Here is a lace bag and some of the French ephemera and a tag with a little flap attached to the front of it, and then inside of it it has one of the pieces of the kit, but I loved it as a writing page. I thought somebody might want that just as a journaling spot. And I will be including like any extras that I have left over or whatever. I'm going to start doing that with my kits just because, you know, I have all these leftover pages and it just gets left over. So I end up with this piles of leftover stuff. So I'm going to start putting little goodie bags with it. Again, one of the sprayed pages. Turn it over. This flips out so you have a full page. French ephemera. Again, a small pocket, a piece of French ephemera, and one of the cards. Isn't that pretty with the lamp? Love this page with the chair. So pretty. Again, digital, coffee dyed. And I was playing with coffee dyes, so this coffee dye is a little bit different than my normal coffee dyed pages. A butterfly page, which I love. I love butterflies. The vintage music sheet with some of the rose paper. And a little square. Get a piece of something in there. Again, one of the pink pages. One of the digitals. There's another one of those little Chalk Talk books. This one's a flower pot. French ephemera. Again, this is just a decorated page and you can journal around. And on the back. And one of the little pink pages. The flower journaling spot. Again, there's the doily. I put a little butterfly and a rose in the middle of that. Again, some of the French ephemera. Here again is one of the little, there's actually two. They open up. And this one has this card, which I absolutely think is gorgeous. And it says this one with the crown. And it also has one of the French ephemera tags that you can write on. Again, that's the other piece of French ephemera. Coffee dyed, digital. There's some of the French ephemera, one of the little tags, and a scrap. There's Mary Elizabeth again. This is one of the bookmarks. I just put some lace underneath of it. There's her little picture too. And it opens up, so you have a large journaling spot. Some of the French ephemera on the back of the Chalk Talk. There shows you a little pot. Let me just get things up here again. Another one of the digitals is Mary Elizabeth again. One of the little writing pages I just sort of tore around and inked it up. I love the way it looked with the pink back. Here's the music page again. Another digital. Small square with some lace. Another tab. Loved this kit, guys. Love this with the lamp. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's Mary Elizabeth too. And another one piece of the French ephemera. Coffee dyed paper that had been sprayed. Here's another bag. I put some lace on it. This gorgeous rose picture here. And it's got a journaling card with the lamp on it. Tucked in there. Again, another one of the digital pages. Again, there's that French page. This is another French ephemera that's just hooked over the page, and I've paper clipped it in to hold it. Love these. This has a pocket. Well, it was a bag, but it's a pocket. Some of the French ephemera, and again, one of the bookmarks. A little scrap of lace. I think my sponge on my inker is getting all crazy. Again, here's a piece of that 5th reader from 1908. A piece of the digital page. That's the end of the 2nd signature. 3rd signature is the one here with the bird. And again, this is LenArte Studios. Little scrap of lace. Okay, here's a coffee filter pocket. It's got a little square in it. Little butterfly and crown card there. Love this little journal page. In digital, coffee dyed. These are just little tag that flips over, and another little tag, and I've just put them over the side of the 5th reader page here with a small paper clip with a ribbon. Another page. Love it. Love the torn page effect. But it still gives you a lot of journaling writing area, but it's not so empty. And there's the back. That's just the part I folded over. It almost looks like some generic washi, or like homemade washi or whatever on there. Piece of the digital kit. Again, one of the pink dyed pages. There is the French ephemera page, or the French book page from 1921. Another digital page. Here's some of the French ephemera, and a journaling tag tucked in the butterfly pocket here, and another little tab. One of the vintage music sheets, little square with just a scrap of lace. Love this page here. And again, the French ephemera, a pink page. There's another Chalk Talk book, another digital, coffee dyed. There's some more of that French ephemera from Artie Maze's kit. Little tag, small bag with a journaling card in it. Okay, then this has a piece of the French ephemera on it. It flips up over like this. It has a piece of the French ephemera. It also has a journaling card in it with a piece of lace. It does fold out, so you have lots of extra journaling room. A little bag in the middle with just one of the little French tags in it. Another pink dyed paper. Here's the other little white bag with a little crown tag in it. Coffee dyed, or not coffee. I keep wanting to say coffee dyed paper because we usually, but I actually use pink this time. One of the digitals. Here's the other Chalk Talk book, but I put a doily on it with a little square. Another pink page. Another one, a piece of the French ephemera, a digital page. Here's the music page with just a scrap of paper at the bottom with, again, Mary Elizabeth and a little lace. Again, some of the French ephemera with a piece of lace. Pink paper, digital paper. Again, here is that French page. Pink paper with a tab, another digital image, a pink page, some of that French ephemera. There's the fifth reader page, another pink page with a doily, digital page. Here's that coffee filter, and it's got 2 pieces of the French ephemera in there. Just tuck it in there with one of the little tags from the kit. You guys, this kit is just amazing. Oops. Sometimes I think these are easier to put from behind, and well, maybe sometimes. There we go. And another pink page, another digital, and this is the back page. It's got I'll tighten that back up. It's got, let's see, it's got these little vintage doilies across the bottom. It's got the lace at the bottom of the pocket here. There's some more lace. There's a fabric hinge. This flips open. There is a journaling spot there. This vintage doily at the bottom. Piece of lace here as the inside, and then this pulls out. It's got one of the large pieces of ephemera, which gives you lots of journaling spot in the back, and then also a journaling card with a doily topper. And again, like it, I loved having that extra journaling spot in the background because you never have enough space to write. So there is that, and I want to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3. Okay, there's like 30 pages between the digital and the pink pages. That's not counting all the other ones. So I'll put a full page count on the Etsy listing, but it's roughly 120 base pages, not counting the vintage or the French ephemera that was added. So that's just between the digitals and the pink paper. So yeah, she's, sort of a chunky monkey, but I had such a blast making her. Again, this kit is just gorgeous, and I will be listing this in my Etsy store. It should be there by the time I post this. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along and seeing Mary Elizabeth and all her butterflies. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. And again, I'll put links to everything in the description box below. I hope you guys have a great day. And we will see you again for our next video. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Throw some like. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not, then please do. And you guys have the best day ever. We will talk with you next time. Hi, this is Dorothy at Done by Dorothy, and we're here today to share with you a flip through of our Victorian Naturalist Journal. We used digital papers from Junk with Steph, the Victorian Naturalist Kit. We will leave links in the description box below. It is a altered or repurposed Reader's Digest book. I was lucky enough to find one, not only that was beautiful, but it actually had the spine attached, although we have reinforced that to make sure that it, is good for the long term. Okay, so let's get started. It is 5.5 by 7 3/4 with a 2-inch spine. So here's the cover, and again, you can see this is one of the gorgeous. It was a dragonfly hidden under there. An absolutely gorgeous Reader's Digest cover. The Victorian Naturalist. It's actually titled on the front with a small cluster. Some of these are vintage lace and vintage fabrics. Most of the lace is vintage lace, actually, with the exception of this pink that sticks out the side. We did put lace to reinforce both of the seams on the corners of the binding here. Inside there is complete fabric that is covering it. And there is the back. That's what the whole cover looks like. There is just this organza, pink organza ribbon as a closure. So we'll open it up, and it's just folded around there twice to sort of hold it. It really doesn't, it doesn't alligator mouth a lot. So it really doesn't need that on there. I put it on there just to sort of keep it closed and together. So this is what the top looks like. And again, these are all, this is vintage fabric, and these are all vintage trims. Again, like I said, this pink on the side is not vintage, but it just looks so pretty. And again, at the bottom, there is vintage lace, vintage fabrics, a vintage doily, and again, all of our charms. Okay, so let's go inside. Again, this is the fabric where it reinforces the spine. There is a book plate and a small crystal there. The book is property of, again, it's pocket, and there's just a couple tags in there with some vintage lace, organza ribbon, some twine, because I thought it was very earthy feel. And again, this kit is just amazing. So, and I've put a small fabric paper clip in there just to sort of hold these in so they don't flip and flop everywhere. Okay, this is the first signature, Gathering Samples. And again, vintage lace, coffee dyed paper, vintage ledger from 1921, our little ball jars. There, I did leave a lot of space to be able to write in here, because to me, you would want to take it out and write in the outside. Again, the Victorian Naturalist. This is a vintage music sheet, a small ticket and doily into crystal. Again, this is a tea-dyed coffee filter, My Study of Nature, a small ticket, fabric cluster at the top, some of this vintage Battenberg lace on the bottom. This is one of the color pages. I thought it would be sort of cool in there. There's some vintage trim around the circle there. This is a vintage page from Wild Plants of the Rocky Mountains. There is a small metal charm with a small bird, and one of the green crystal and the brown charms there. And again, and that is double-sided. I did keep that there because I didn't want anything to happen to it. This is not one of the vintage trims either. It is just a burlap type trim. There's the other side of that coloring page, another coffee dyed page, Battenberg trim, the other side of the coffee page. There is an envelope, and it does have some fussy cut type tags and things in there that you can use to decorate elsewhere. And this is a 5 signature journal. There's some more tags in there, and a vintage music page. Again, another page. There's that ledger page that folds out, the Naturalista. And that's the end of the first signature. So on the signatures, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 20 coffee dyed pages plus all the other little pages in between. So there's 100 coffee dyed pages within it. So here's the second one. And it's got a bingo card with some of that burlap trim on it. And again, I could stencil through these, but I really liked just having it very earthy and very plain. Some pink cheesecloth, a 1915 calendar, some of that Battenberg lace. Again, the coffee filter with a memory dex card with some of the pink trim. I try to leave plenty of places to write. Another paper clip. There's a small playing card and a tag. Again with cheesecloth and some of that burlap trim. There's another one of the, and these are from like 1918. Another one of the coloring pages, this time in the center, so you can color it all. Again, a small butterfly charm and a small brown circle bead, as well as the green glass bead. There's a feather. There's a burlap trim. There's another, isn't that beautiful? I love those pages. The small pocket, the tag with some of the vintage lace at the top, and some of the Battenberg lace. Again, a ball jar on the coffee filter. It's a fabric ruffle at the bottom. Here is a piece of the ledger paper, and this is actually a ledger. It's I've created a tag out of it. It's got some that vintage fringe, or well, it's not vintage fringe. My study of nature, the butterfly, 2 little tags in there. I didn't put toppers on these because I want them to be able to fit in the pocket. Coffee dyed page. Again, there's a music sheet. Some more of that trim. That's the end of the second. Here's the beginning of the third. Again, that vintage trim. Page. Coloring page. Another tag stuck in there to tuck. Vintage music sheet. I love that. The Battenberg lace. Again, some cheesecloth with a doily, the word botany on some ledger paper, and that is vintage ledger paper. The doily. There's a small deer charm, and again, the green and brown. Some of that burlap. Again, that ledger page folded up in there. There's a tag tucked in there. And this pocket was actually cream colored cardstock. I hit it with a wood grain embossing folder and then inked it up and went to town with the ink, added a little vintage bow, a little bird card. In the music sheet, there's some Battenberg lace. Again, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I love those little pictures. They're nice enough. I didn't want even to touch them to do anything. Some of that fringe, and we're in signature 4 butterflies. And like I said, these images are just beautiful. Vintage lace, coffee dyed doily. Okay, this page, pop this paper clip. I just have it paper clipped there. This actually opens up. This folds out. The ledger page does. And it's got some crystals in there just to sort of hold this in. And then this opens up, and it is a journaling spot. So I put it, well, sometimes we do these and then they're really hard to get in there, aren't they? Okay, so we have that, and I just slide the ledger paper in, and I'm almost certain that the ledger paper would hold it in. The crystals would grab it, but I don't want it to like go flying off the side or anything, so that's why I put the paper clip on there. Some Battenberg lace, coffee dyed paper. Again, love those little nature pages. Battenberg lace, the music sheet. There's 2 tags in here. Some vintage ribbon and a bag with some of the crystals. One of those color pages in the center. There's a small tree charm. The green and brown beads. Coffee dyed paper with the burlap lace. Here's a piece of the vintage music sheet. It's tied right here. If you untie this, this opens up and creates a 3-pocket flip. There's a small tag with some cheesecloth in there, one of the 1915 calendars, and again, one of the little like alteration Pacific Company tags goes in there. And again, that folds up and ties up. So it just keeps everything nice and flat so it doesn't flail around everywhere when you try to do something with it, which is what they usually do for me anyway. So that's tied in. So over again, that's the music page. Fabric ruffle. Again, one of those little nature page or Rocky Mountain pages. Little ticket with fabric. Again, a ticket with some burlap. Coffee dyed page. This is a doily. Some of that fringe. The fifth one, here's the botany cover. Some vintage lace. One of the adult coloring pages. Coffee dyed paper. Here again is some of that wood. This in there. And if I reach over here, I have a little extra ticket here. This is not glued down at the top, so if you stick it in there, it will hold stuff in there. So it's like just like a little clipboard. And that is vintage trim and vintage lace also. The nature pages, again, the coffee dye page with some of that Battenberg ribbon or lace. Some cheesecloth, little tag on my ledger page, the coffee dyed page. There's a doily in the middle. I absolutely love this little charm. It's a snail. And the green and brown beads. Again, that burlap trim. Another ledger paper. Another envelope. Again, with playing a little just digital playing card, and another one of those nature pages. Yeah, I just love the color of those. Again, some of that Battenberg lace. Again, the music page, Standing on the Promises. My grandma used to sing that. Again, another ticket, a doily, and some of the crystals. Another one of the coloring pages, and a page with the fringe. And then back here, we've got the vintage doily hanging down. We've got cheesecloth, music paper, some of the crystals on a seed pocket, which I just cut the top off to make it into a pocket. And then it's got one of the Pacific Company tags and an old library book card that's got some of the fringe and some of the burlap on top. And then there is the back of our Reader's Digest. There's the spine. And again, the cover with some book paper, the vintage fabric, the crystals, the label. There's vintage wallpaper and the vintage lace on there. So, yep, lots of lace and stuff like that. And again, that's what the bottom looks like, and the side and the top. So I hope you enjoyed coming along on my flip through of the Victorian Naturalist. I loved working with this kit. You know, if you're interested in making one, go get that kit. Absolutely loved it. And it is from the Victorian era, from 1837 to 1901 was the Victorian era, because somebody asked me that. Like, well, is that the same thing as Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady? And it is not, because the Victorian era went from 1837 to 1901. The Edwardian era picked up in 1901, so there is that overlap of 1901, and then continued on until 1910. And, you know, things in the art world changed drastically during those times. So, okay. I just wanted to come on and share a flip through with you guys so you could see the Victorian Naturalist. I will be listing this in my Etsy shop today, so you know, if you're interested in it, keep an eye on it there. And thanks for tuning in and watching my flip through. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.